And I'll just start this. Are you there? Hey.
I'm over here. I'm down here on the blue track.
We are so excited to bring you this special bonus episode of the Turned Up podcast. We joined forces with your BFF podcast to bring you something unique and awesome and give you an opportunity to learn a little bit more about Robert and myself. Just a quick heads up, some of the content in this episode is for grown-ups and may not be so much for kids. So if you got little ones around, you may want to pop those earbuds in or just wait till later to listen to this one. It's super fun, super interesting, but there are some things that we talk about that I don't know if I want my kids to hear. Anyway, that being said, still a good one. Thank you again. And as always, we love you. Thank you for listening to the Turned Up podcast. Enjoy.
Broadcasting from Nashville, Tennessee, offering a glimpse inside the music industry, shedding light on things they don't want you to know, and exposing some of the industry's biggest secrets. You're listening to the Turned Up Podcast, presented by Real Sound Productions. Here are your hosts, Jake Jones and Robert Venable.
Hello, hello!
What is going on, my friend?
Man, just sitting over here in the studio with a mic, like I always do.
Why did I ask you what you were doing?
I don't know, you can see me, right?
Kind of.
I'm waving! Jake, we have a podcast to do. We have people here.
We do.
I don't know how they got in here, but we have people in here.
Does anybody know the number to 911?
Someone looked that up. This is that's a Saved by the Bell joke. Screech, call 911.
I don't know. It's been recycled a lot.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's been around a while.
Yeah.
But I remember it from that.
Oh.
I like, he calling up, what is it?
That's
he calling a cantaloupe, you melonhead?
Easily 4 decades before my time. So.
Shut up, Jake. Ladies and gentlemen, over there with the jokes is Jake Jones. You have to say it like that. If you just say Jake or just say Jones, he won't know who you're talking to.
Huh?
Exactly. Jake Jones,
hi.
standing at 6'3", sitting at approximately 4 foot. He's sitting up now. 9. I'm going to give you 4'9" on that one.
Can you hear me from up here?
I can. This is great. You stay over there. It'll
Okay.
be good. He is an award-winning, top of the charts, Billboard Top 10, Rock Song of the Year, Best New Artist, Songwriter, Producer, Mixer, Engineer, also the guitar player, front guy for the band As We Ascend, songwriter for Shoalsville Music. Shout out to Chad Green.
What up, Chad?
What up, Chad? We're just talking about Muscle Shoals today with some of our guests who you're going to hear in just a minute. But one thing that you may or may not know about Jake Jones is he is one of the world's top 3, hasn't hit top 2 or 1 yet, butterfly tamers in like the whole world.
That's right.
The Northern Hemisphere, actually.
Yeah, how did you actually know about this?
I was Googling, trying to find facts on Jake Jones, and that was the first thing that popped up.
Yeah, it's on my Wikipedia page. Actually,
and you have a website.
So butterfly taming is something that not a whole lot of people really know exists. It's something I got into when I was about 8 years old. It was my sensei that started teaching me about it.
There are senseis in butterfly taming.
Well,
or you're doing something else.
Right. So some senseis talk about the grasshopper and fast things, catch the fly. But for people of my sort of speed and agility, catching butterflies is a much more practical approach. Also something that is within my ability range. So all that being said, it actually turned into a full-on...
Jake Jones. I know it's gonna be really easy for you to be long-winded on this and want to talk about your whole methodology into this. And,
well, yeah, here I actually made a chart.
No, hold on.
Can I show you my chart really quick?
Share one thing, just one thing, like one command you would give in order to tame a butterfly, like for us novices.
Okay. Don't actually hold your breath.
That's a good one. That is a good one. And that explains so much. So you just breathe the whole time.
Okay, number 2. Sorry, I have to do a second one.
Follow up.
No swords.
No swords and breathing needs to happen. Got it.
Ladies and gentlemen, Robert Venable, who actually is a true butterfly expert. We can talk about that later.
I just want to spread my wings and fly, bro.
I'm a peacock, Captain.
I used to be in a cocoon. I used to be like a caterpillar. Now I'm a butterfly.
Nope.
Not it?
Nope, not yet.
I'll keep trying. Let me Google some stuff.
Keep working on that cocoon. No, Robert Venable, people, let me tell you something about him. Not only is he award-winning, his awards include things like Grammys, Dove Awards, gold records for working with some of the world's biggest artists. I almost said some of the biggest artists in the whole world.
Some of the world's smallest
biggest
artists, too.
And yes, this is true.
And like medium-sized artists as well.
I don't discriminate. Like small to medium?
I regulate every shade of the...
Would you say you strongly agree? Slightly agree?
That's like one of my pet peeves are all of those. Because sometimes I'm like, there's not an answer relevant to what I have to say.
No, not at all. It's like, Your Would You Come Here Again? I strongly agree. Actually, there's nothing to agree with here. No, okay. But for real, he's a producer, engineer. He's also a songwriter with Shoalsville. He's a drummer for the band As We Ascend, as well as a vocalist now. He plays every instrument under the sun. He's absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
He inspires me every day among being so many incredible things, including my best friend in the whole world. Among all of his amazing accolades, talents, skills, gifts, and giftings, he actually tunes hamster harmonicas on the side. It seems to be a lucrative business these days in 2019. Why don't you tell us a little bit about that?
Sure. So tuning hamster harmonicas is one of those things that a lot of people don't know a lot about, including myself. So what you do when you don't know a lot about something, if you don't have Google in the part of the country that you live in, you just wing it. And that is a butterfly pun for you. But
I like it. It's
so hamsters by nature do not have a good sense of tone. And aren't able to tune because of the opposable thumb thing.
Right.
If you've ever seen Meet the Fockers, you know that they can't as well tune a harmonica the same way as humans or, other people with or other things with opposable thumbs.
Although I imagine, can hamsters flush toilets?
I don't know. That sounds like a YouTube or a Vine video that we should probably Google.
Jinxie, he could flush
Oh,
toilets.
that's right. Yeah, but not. It wasn't a hamster though.
It was a cat.
Yeah, wait, similar.
Still no opposable thumbs.
No, correct. So what I do is I look for things. I don't do the sharps or the flats. I only stick with the white keys.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
So every harmonica is in the key of C.
Every harmonica that's all I know. Yeah.
Fair enough.
So basically I tune them all to the key of C and they don't know the difference. Really, they're hamsters.
That makes sense.
They really don't even know how to use the harmonica.
I don't really appreciate the way you're devaluing the artistic abilities of hamsters.
And I think they would devalue it themselves. They're very humble creatures.
That's fair enough.
They were originally actually named humbles.
Next week, we're actually going to talk with Mr. Robert Venable about teaching hamsters the English language, something else that he's heavily into. But this week, we have a very, very special treat.
We do, because this is going to be a fun little different thing than what we're used to doing.
That's right.
You're going to learn a little bit about Jake and I that you probably don't want to know. And maybe some things that you do want to know. And
Box of briefs. Wait, sorry.
Save it for the podcast.
I'm sorry, I was trying to... Okay.
We have some special guests in here, and we should probably jump right into them.
Let's
Like a swimming pool.
Oh, gross.
Not like into them.
I don't know if that works that way.
Like the conversation with them.
Like
you know what I mean? We could... Oh. Also helps to breathe. They're over there. I think they just left. Our guests just left.
The whole prospect of being jumped into by
Whatever.
you all.
The whole time we were doing that intro, there were selfies and
Oh yeah.
I took
other
a nap.
selfies.
It was a great nap, guys. Thank you for that.
I'm glad you guys stayed here during our
Thank you.
intro.
Appreciate
It took
that.
us so long to get here that really it wasn't. We
We
weren't
were
going to
jet
leave.
lagged, a little jet lagged.
It was a flight.
There was no in-flight meal, and honestly, it's just so offensive.
At least you didn't fly WoW Airlines. You hear about that?
Oh, they went
stranded
undocked.
everybody.
Done.
They just quit
Yep.
and left all of
They're
their passengers wherever they were.
Oh my God, what if we got stuck here?
There are no taxi
There's a
services.
food lion.
There's no Uber here, right?
There's a Piggly Wiggly.
Oh God,
There's a food lion and a Piggly Wiggly.
And a
No
great big
Uber?
huge field in the backyard with lots of ground yet to be dug up.
Well, if you
grab
actually look up where your house is
Which we
located,
did because we were like, okay, where are we going? It's nothing
picture
but
of a
land. I was
field.
like, they're gonna murder us. This is like it's just a big like ruse just to murder us.
So there's no surprises. That's great.
Yeah, no surprises. So
That does sound right.
like somebody already knows where we are in case you guys get any crazy ideas, so they can avenge our deaths, and they're gonna make a podcast about it.
I had a songwrite last week where someone said that they were driving up the driveway and was like, this is
this is
This is where I die. This is it.
This
It's
is
a
the
Lifetime
end.
movie
Yeah.
right here.
I have to
Lifetime
drive
movie.
up a hill to die. This is great.
Yeah.
Perfect.
The Hill Where I Died,
That's
Yeah.
a great podcast.
starring Jennifer Love Hewitt
Is
oh
that
my
who it is?
God.
and Busy Phillips.
on the Hallmark Channel.
On
In the Lifetime Movie
Meredith
Network.
Baxter Burney.
And America. What's her last name? America
Ferrera.
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 Yeah.
I feel like she could be in that one.
I
She could
think
be-
so.
Yeah.
She'd be
yeah.
like the second star,
Yeah.
supporting actress.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Wow.
And Steve Carell.
Of course.
What?
Yeah.
Wait, whoa.
He's the guy that lives in the house on the hill.
Okay. I was
He
going to
just-
say,
he just
like,
laughs
he's
a
not going
lot,
to be
nervously.
he's not going to be on a Lifetime movie. He's way better than this.
We need to introduce the voices who are contributing to our
Probably.
murder podcast story.
All right. So to my left is Stanley.
Yep. Nice to meet you, everyone.
Stanley Hudson.
You don't
Nice
even
to
look
meet
like
you.
a Stanley. It's
To
great.
his right
It's weird. I get
is
that all
Jonathan.
the time. Yeah.
Jonathan.
Wait, that's
These
not
pitch
this
shifters
week.
are great for their voices.
Jonathan?
I don't think
Jonathan.
you don't look like a Jonathan to me.
I don't feel like I'd be a Jonathan if I was a dude.
What would your name be?
Oh no, I haven't thought about it. Let's see.
You
What
have
would my
5
name
seconds to come up with your
My
guy name.
name-
1,
would be-
2, 3.
be? Michael Scott.
4.
I don't know.
Michael Scott.
Already taken. That's Michael Scarn.
Michael Scarn. Threat level midnight. You're exactly right.
Michael Scarn is actually Mel from your BFF podcast, Music City Mel on the socials.
Yes.
One word.
One word.
You need to check that out.
That's right.
And then I'm not going to say your real name yet. What would your dude name be? 5 seconds. Game show host. I've always wanted to be a game show host.
3.
Tracy Guns.
Ooh.
Is that already taken? It's already
It's
That sounds
taken.
like a
It's fine.
guitarist
Michael
name.
Scarn's already taken too.
Yeah,
It's fine.
it's already taken. But that would definitely be my name, 100%.
I dig it.
I don't think that's your real name, though.
Well, it is.
It is.
Well,
You don't.
with 2 eyes, it's not. Well,
There's a lot of wells here.
well.
Wow.
So that's actually Jen from the same podcast,
Yes.
your BFF podcast. And we're doing a joint podcast tonight. What is your social cold time?
Cold gin time.
Cold gin time.
It's a Kiss song, but
That makes sense now.
with gin.
Jen.
yeah.
Right. The Kiss song is GIN, of course.
And there's no @ sign at the beginning of the Kiss song title.
no,
That's
there
fair.
actually is. Well, the first version that they wrote had that.
And they just edited that
And then
out.
they were like,
just
this is
didn't
what's
put
an
it-
@ sign?
yeah,
That doesn't make
that's-
sense.
That
And
makes
so,
right
but
time.
now,
They are really ahead of their time.
absolutely.
Yeah, that's
Kiss, they're just innovators,
Gotta
you
love
know?
Kiss.
Always have been.
It's old Gene Simmons, man.
so we've been advertising this on our socials a lot, and so have you guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
We've been looking for questions and comments, and we're just going to give advice tonight on life, love. I was trying
And
to
the pursuit of happiness.
and the pursuit of happiness.
We're going to tell you how to live your life
And that's exactly what we're going to do, all of us.
because we're super qualified.
We
None
know
of
how
us
to-
have our shit together. Well, maybe you guys do. I don't know.
We've
I
all
can't
been-
only speak for us.
We've all been alive.
We have.
We've kept ourselves alive this long,
We have.
which I feel
Barely.
And I've been alive, I think, longer than any of you guys. So I'm the most qualified.
I don't think you listen to our
Robert
podcast.
has been alive for literally.
He's like 120, right?
120 something.
I'm totally 121.
When
That's
did you
so
last?
weird.
Oh,
when
you're
did
just gonna one-up me.
When did you lose when did you lose track?
His 120th birthday happened sometime during the First World War.
It was right before that. It was-
WW1.
I thought it was a celebration. I heard the gunshots. I'm like, oh, thank you.
Fireworks.
And that
you
surprise
realize
was
people
really,
were shooting each other.
I see. Mm-hmm.
Oops. Can't celebrate that.
He gets a co-writing credit for the Star Spangled Banner.
I was there. Francis Scott Key and I were.
Oh.
You guys
We're
were really
there.
tight, huh?
Yeah, we were.
That's cool.
At
How was
one
he to
point.
write with?
We don't hang out much these days.
No.
If-
Was
if
it
that says
a
anything.
little bit of bad
The
blood?
whole dead thing probably makes a difference, right?
It
You know, it's
does
funny.
play a
He's
part.
credited with that song. So obviously
I
something went
gave it
wrong.
to him. I
a
let him have
ghostwriter.
it.
Something went
Ghostwriter.
wrong. Oh, I see.
And that's where
Yeah.
you have a little friction in the industry.
I get it. I get
I'm
it.
not here to blast people.
No.
Oh,
No.
one of the
no.
reasons we wanted to get into the music industry and this podcast as well. Yeah.
Just, yeah, exactly. No, so yeah, I've got you beat by a couple millenniums.
Okay.
Ish. Give or take a millennium.
All right.
Well, I'm 27. I don't know what you fools are doing, but I'm 27.
In what
Nope.
way?
Hamster years?
Nope.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't know. Is that how that works?
Doesn't matter. 27.
How old are you in dog
Forever.
years?
Like, I don't know, 14
Times
probably.
That's math.
Or
Yeah,
divided
yeah.
by 7, not times 7.
Times 7
Times,
would be.
is it divided? It's
I'm like,
divided.
no, times 7 is going to make me way older. I don't want to do
Divided.
that.
That's dog years.
Oh my God. But Jake's actually the baby, I think, here.
I think I am.
I think you are too.
31 years old.
19.
Christ. I feel like it could be my son. Okay. I would have been 12.
All right. With Sarah Abraham. Okay.
In a weird, warped world. If it was 1525.
I was going to say, if it was like the 1500s.
If it was 1525, I
And
would
you guys
so
are
have been,
cousins. It could work
so
out,
have
right?
been your mom.
that too.
Yeah.
If we
Oh
were
my
royalty,
God.
if
Yeah.
we were royalty, we
Yeah.
could be siblings and you could also be my mother at the same time.
Absolutely.
Like Edgar Allan Poe, didn't he marry his 13-year-old cousin or something like that? One of my favorite authors. He married like his 13 or 14-year-old cousin. And then,
Oh.
yeah, I guess that was
That
okay
sounds-
at that point. Good thing he wasn't
Sounds
jacked up in the head, though,
incestuous.
at all, right?
And this has
I
been
think
your
that's-
episode.
Essentially,
Thank you for tuning in and listening. And
you can find us on our socials at. Oh man, no,
I
we're-
don't know about you, Jen, but I feel like I'm at a spa. Like I get to lay on a couch. The microphone came
Did you see,
to
I'm
me
surrounded- I'm very
magically,
protective
and
of myself. I'm
a
surrounded by
strapping
pillows.
young lad brought it to me. I have wine in a can. I'm just
Okay, I have a true story about that
Living
very
my
couch right
best
there.
life. Oh no! Please
no,
don't ruin
thank
it.
you.
You
We're
don't tell
good.
stories about recording studio couches,
Nope.
Jake. That's rule
No.
number one.
Don't ruin this for me,
Yeah,
Jake.
it's the
You
casting
ready for
couch,
this?
the recording studio
do
couch. We know
not
how it
ru-
goes. We
I
know
think
how
we
it
should-
ruin
goes.
this for me.
Let's let them just sit here and wonder about it
Yeah.
until the end of the
Does
podcast.
it involve
Okay.
this pillow that
The
I
big
have very
End of the
close to my
podcast,
person?
you
Please
get to
don't.
hear a story about that couch.
There will be a
Alright.
big reveal.
Oh God!
If you haven't already listened to your BFF podcast, this is pretty much how all of their episodes go.
You're missing out.
Well-
They are hilarious.
Meaningless.
That's
Meaningless.
That's missing out. I don't know about that.
So no, you guys are doing something right, new and
I was gonna
noteworthy,
say new
like
and noteworthy.
all the
Thank you.
time on
Yes.
the iTunes
It's
chart.
very exciting.
3 categories?
3 categories.
Kind of art,
yes.
That is
society,
amazing.
and culture,
And health.
And we don't know how we got into health.
Are you guys
think-
giving health advice?
We think we talked about anatomy at some point,
I have a spot right here.
and so that's how we got on health.
What were you saying about anatomy?
I don't know. We want to keep it clean.
Well, yeah, we got to keep it clean, so we can't talk
that's
about
the
what we
only.
said,
That's
but,
the only way we can think we got on health.
Got it.
Okay, so I
We
am
blame Ricky Rackman.
I am going to
Yeah.
keep this as clean as possible.
Yes.
However,
Yes.
I have 2 small children, 2 daughters.
Yep.
Yes.
And we live in a messed up world. And a lot of things happen
Yep.
that are terrible.
Yes.
And I'm not joking. I mean that.
The real thing.
So for that reason, we have taught.
You have a wasp.
Oh, that's Reggie.
Oh,
Okay,
Reginald's back.
wow. Okay.
Reginald or Reggie, depending on if you're
Okay.
friends.
He's
As long as we know him, it's cool.
Yeah, he's good.
Don't let him sting me because you have to get my EpiPen on my purse.
She's
Yeah.
freaking allergic to wasps.
Oh no, really?
Yes.
Okay, so while Robert tries to kill the wasp,
Robert saves my life for the second time this week. This is some live drama right
it's,
here.
it's gone.
can't script this.
Oh my God.
You killed Reggie.
Is that his blood? What is that red thing?
I knew we were coming here to die. Lifetime movie.
Because that makes sense.
Please just make sure Jennifer Love Hewitt plays me. Please.
Okay, so that
That's all I
everyone
want.
listening knows I live on like 4 acres.
Yeah.
You live in another country, my friend. What do you guys do for fun out here? Like
Beautiful.
serious
It's
question.
beautiful.
It is
It's God's
beautiful.
country.
Yeah, this is where you go to have land. Like I know in Nashville you don't get land, and if you went to
No.
Brentwood for land, you're paying a lot of millions
You know
for
what?
land.
I don't have land
All
like
the
you
millions.
guys have land, but
No.
my yard's pretty freaking big, and like I want to pave it.
Can you throw a rock into
what?
another house? at all?
No,
Do you want to pave it?
I want to pay. I guess I
You
could hit it to the
Yeah,
side.
No, you definitely could.
To the
you
side,
could
I
do it
could.
at my house too.
But my
yeah.
yard goes way back.
Oh, that's cool.
But no, I want it. I want
not
it
cool.
paved.
Not uncool.
You want it paved?
Yeah.
You're gonna pave
paved yard.
paradise to put up a parking lot.
I don't care what we put back there. I just want it paved.
A Piggly Wiggly? Why do you want it paved?
Why not?
Do you have like a lot of
Oh, put a
cars or like a school
Starbucks
bus?
back there. That'd be so rad.
School bus.
Gross.
Yeah. In my spare time, I'm an interior decorator and I
why
drive a
not?
school bus in the afternoons.
See, that's how they know you're serious.
Starbucks.
No, I don't.
You
I
need
don't.
a coffee shop back there.
Neither my husband or I are very. We're like city people ish.
I don't know what's so funny about that sentence. Go ahead.
I know that was weird. And I just, if I could just pay somebody to come and take the grass out and just put some. I don't know. I feel like I could do something back
I
there.
don't feel like this is New York
Pavement.
City without.
I don't know. Maybe I'm living in the wrong place.
He's-
All right, so about the property I live on, it sits up on a pretty big hill, as you know.
Yeah.
I missed
Oh,
it. I
yeah,
missed it when we were
man.
driving
You didn't
here.
catch
I
that?
We were
first
like,
time.
It
we
is
have to go up there. What?
I was off
Do we
road.
go to the right, to the left?
Yeah.
I don't know.
My-
the road less traveled.
my property gets struck by lightning at least once every big storm we have.
Nope.
Can I tell the
It's
story?
time to move.
Yeah.
So
my
I got
friend.
I got a text message one day. We were talking about the storm and stuff. I'm like, "What's up?" And he sends me a picture. He's like, "Did the storm hit Spring Hill as much?" Like, and that's like a suburb of Nashville where my family lives. And he's further south than that. I'm like, "It did, man. It's crazy." And you're like, "Dude, got struck by lightning. Check this out." Sends me a picture of the dog run with the leash like fried, and I'm like, I didn't reply because I didn't know if that meant like the dog was
Oh
done.
my God.
Because there was like radio
Yeah.
silence on my text for a good 30 minutes. And I'm like, I don't know how to reply to this.
I'm sorry.
I don't know if like, sorry, dude.
Oh
Man.
my God.
Like, 'cause that could be taken either way. And he's like, oh, the dog wasn't on it. It's just, it hit the thing and traveled down.
Oh
It had a
my
big
God.
60-foot metal wire that the dog leash attaches to so that he can run
Oh
Yeah.
my
back and
God.
forth.
Yeah.
and it got struck, blew both ends, melted the metal on both ends.
Move.
And
Get out of here. What are you doing? Why are you still here, man?
one day I was trying to leave. I had somewhere to be at way too early in the morning. And
11 or 12-ish.
We're on the same level.
2 p.m. is still morning, right?
It is definitely. Definitely.
And I had a tree down right in the middle of the road. And there's only one road on and off of this property.
You are getting so many signs. It's like, get out of here, man. Get out.
You know what?
Get out.
Or don't
Come live in
leave.
my backyard. We're going to build you a house.
There you go. And
Yeah.
you'll have a paved like front yard. It's fine.
Did I say BF?
Every man's dream. Yeah. Every man's dream is
Sometimes
a big
I go to
paved
this
backyard.
weird northern accent. I don't know. I'm from
Or
Virginia.
or you do the
Shut up, you're
Jamaican
from
man.
Virginia.
I straddle the line between like north and south. But the story, the deal is you're going to move into my backyard. Backyard.
Backyard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this intro's in the bag.
Backyard.
Yeah. This intro's done.
In the bag.
Yeah.
So Arizona, New Mexico, and Southern California, where it never rains,
True. It's true statement.
it is very common to replace any kind of yard with rock.
That's what we had in our place in Phoenix.
And it's about the only way to actually have a decent looking yard without spending $20,000 a year on water.
Landscapers drive dump trucks of gravel.
I think I want
True story.
that.
It's great. You don't have to mow ever.
My husband has this like John Deere tractor. Our yard is big enough to have a riding lawnmower, right?
Which is great.
So
I love that.
well, he doesn't know what he's doing with it.
No, you have to
And-
get on it and turn it on and just drive around.
Oh my God.
That's all you do.
That easy.
Literally all you do.
He's been pushing it, and it was so weird.
Oh, Ryan.
Just
was
move
like,
the gear
Ryan-
shift till it gets to N.
I was like, Ryan,
and then
I
you push it.
don't think this is right. And he's like, shut up. And I'm like, no, I don't think it's right.
N means now we're happening. D means don't put it in this gear. R means wrong. You just put it in like now we're mowing.
Problem solved.
And you push that thing around all day. You put your earbuds in, put on
Oh
some
my
Willie
gosh.
Nelson, and you just push.
Wow. Do we feel stupid or what?
Right? Aren't you glad we're in your life?
Well, this is why we're here to tell you how to live your life.
See,
this is it right here.
This establishes
We're
our
clearly
credibility.
qualified. Clearly, we're qualified.
Jesus. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
man.
Can I say Jesus?
So anyway,
I love Jesus.
so we're here to
I do
talk
too.
about
I do too.
With that being said, we're going to give you all the advice you need to know.
Yeah. Jen, do you wanna
Yeah, so-
do the honors?
Okay. Well, basically, we asked for questions from our listeners because we wanted to
We
give
have
them
quite
advice.
a few. We have quite a few.
We wanted to give them advice. So this is solicited advice. It's just not
which is
professional.
insane. Yeah, it's
not
definitely
professional
not
advice.
professional. We should just
Absolutely
make it
professional.
We
make
are
it
not-
very well known that we are not qualified to give any advice,
We're
but
not
we're going to do it anyway.
officially doctors or lawyers.
words to live by.
We just
and
play
die
them
by.
on TV.
Oh, right. That's right. I knew you from some kind of movie or something.
Yeah, Dr. Drake Ramore.
Dr. Drake Ramore.
Dr.
Robert. Oh, I have something for you, my friend.
Oh, thank you. Lip gloss? I don't get it.
Yep. You guys are terrible. Yeah, no, I knew you from something, some movie.
Nope.
What was that called?
Wasn't me. I'm in the music business. That's
I have
weird.
to IMDb Robert Venable and find that out.
Maybe
At your own risk.
Maybe if you're listening, you should IMDb Robert Venable as
and
well.
look for movies.
Oh.
I'm just saying. Anyway, what's the question, Jen?
Oh.
Don't act like you don't want people to know about
Question
it.
is, have you ever made out with anyone in a bathroom? No, that's not the question. Okay. The question.
Today or a different day?
Was it making out with or a little, little freaky
What
deaky
is that?
stuff?
Like, is that like,
Like
a car
make
horn?
music? Like a flutophone? a hamster
A little
harmonica.
bow, chicka bow wow,
Brown chicken, brown cow.
Was he playing guitar in a
A little of
bathroom?
that.
Did you play guitar in a bathroom?
I've
in a
never
movie?
played guitar in a bathroom.
But he did something else in there. Okay, anyway.
Maybe pooped? I don't know.
No.
There might have
Not
been
in
some
public
pooping
restrooms.
going on.
No. Were those tattoos real? No, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
You watched
The
the,
ones on your
movie.
back. The ones on your
Yes.
back. Okay, cool. Anyway.
Oh,
I'm gonna.
man.
You know what? Our listeners.
man. Go ahead. Sorry, you can. I'll stop talking.
No, it's really fine. So, okay. Here's the first question. This is from an anonymous. The person did not wish to be named.
Okay.
What's the longest someone has waited to say "I love you"? What's the fastest? Also, what's the longest you waited, and what's the fastest you said it?
Okay, so to us and from us.
To us and from us.
Oh, I see. Okay, I was like, you're asking the same question over and over
Yeah,
again.
no. To
Okay,
and from.
but a follow-up to that is, has someone saying it too soon, in your opinion, caused you to break up with them?
That's a good question. It redeemed itself there at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really did, because I was like, where is this going?
All right, Robert.
All right, Cheryl476, thanks for the question. Just kidding.
No. Anonymous.
Oh, sorry. We can bleep that out. Okay, so I have said it really soon before. I think we were all young. I was definitely young for longer than I should have been. So back when we were like banging things on tablets and clanging stones together.
Oh, right.
Right.
That's
So
so confusing.
on the papyrus scrolls, I would write things and thinking it would take a while to get there.
Yes, of course.
But sometimes the crows fly a little faster than they should, and
Yeah.
they get the message there. No, I've said it before. I remember 9th grade to a girl.
Now we're taking it back.
Probably within a week.
Okay.
And I'm like, it just felt like, because that's all I knew. And I'm like, okay,
Sure.
well, I like her a lot. That's love. We love each other now.
Right,
I'm
right.
going to tell her that I love her. And I have been told the fastest, probably within a week as well. I think
week?
probably the same
Were
girl.
you in 9th grade? Okay, I was
Yeah.
going to say, was it?
I love you too.
Okay,
was what she said.
Let's talk about things past
Okay.
high school.
So
if we have anything past high school to go on.
Fastest. So my wife and I were engaged at 6 weeks. And
God, the same with my husband.
and married at 9 months.
Okay, we were sooner than that. But yeah.
So, and that was one of those things like, if you know, you know. And I had dated several people before, and,
Sure.
and like, you just know, you get a chance to like, not my thing. This is different than what I had before.
Sure.
This is where I need to be. And things just progress. I saw her every day. And that could either, 1, cloud your vision, or 2, just enhance your relationship.
Yeah.
And to
Sure,
me,
sure.
it went well, I think. We've been married 14 years now, a little over 14 years.
Awesome. Congratulations.
So it worked out. The longest it's taken me to, I guess I've never said it to some people.
yes,
There are people out
definitely.
there I've never said I love you to.
Sure.
They
Yeah.
do exist.
They do.
And then the longest someone took to say to me, I think it always usually happens within a year. If I'm dating someone that long, I'll hear it before a year.
If it's not, if you're not feeling it within a year, it's like,
And that's where I'm at with
time
it.
to check out, right? Yeah.
Right.
I definitely, I can't say it was like the I love you, but it's the introducing you to their parents. Oh man, there was a couple of guys in my past with that. Like one dude literally gave me like all I ever wanted, was a Tiffany box. I wanted something from, I don't even care
You
what
want
it
that
was,
baby
man.
blue box.
But I wanted that box, man. Okay, so I remember this guy gave me a necklace from Tiffany, and I was like, "Oh, this is great." But then he
was
wanted
it the one with the heart?
But then no, it was like it was actually a really cute necklace, but then it just got weird. So, but then he wanted to, to take me to introduce me to his family and all this stuff, and I was like,
Step back, Tiffany boy.
"Runaway bride." Off she goes. I was
How long was
not
the
feeling
into
it.
the relationship?
It wasn't. I
Though.
mean, it was maybe like 3-4 months ish. Yeah.
That doesn't seem that odd
But man,
to
I
want
was
to
just at
introduce
that
you to
place. I was
parents.
like, "Nah, man, get me out of here." Yeah.
Oh, did you
Checking
keep the
out, checking
necklace
out.
though?
I gave it back. That was a nice.
That was nice
Not
of
an
you.
engagement ring. It's
I
just
was
a
nice
necklace.
person. I
And that was a
know,
gift.
but it's super expensive, and I felt guilty
Not really
about
that
it.
expensive.
You are a nice human being.
I
am.
appreciate you.
Yeah, that's
for-
nice.
Thank you.
I would have kept it.
I
Jen,
try
you're
to
a
be.
jerk.
Yeah.
Damn.
I try to be nice.
I'm going to kind of clep out of this question a little bit. I grew up in a situation where I wasn't allowed to date.
Okay.
And so I kind of had one.
He's actually heir to a kingdom.
Yes.
Oh.
Like a West African community.
Oh my God, it makes so
No.
much sense. That's why you look so
West African or
regal,
East African?
Right.
Jake
Where's-
Jones,
With my.
and like a big hunk of man meat.
Oh, is that right?
He's back
That's
on
what
that.
it is. That's what it is.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that said, the one kind of actual girlfriend I had before my wife, we did say I love you to each other through notes, but that was in high school.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I started dating my wife 2 or 3 months out of high school.
Oh wow, high
And-
school sweethearts. Sort
Wow.
of.
We
Yeah,
were
I'd call
married.
it that.
We were married 15 to 18 months after that. So,
What?
but that said,
Wow.
all I have is school experiences.
Okay.
And so they don't really count because kids are silly gooses.
Kids are silly gooses.
But But I will say in school, because it counts,
Love is love is love.
I will say that I was told by a female that I did not have any kind of attraction whatsoever to that she loved me.
Okay.
And it definitely scared me off. But that,
I've never been the part B of the question. I was never scared off. Oh, okay. Wait. Yes, I was once.
that's like, hey, maybe we could be friends.
Yeah.
And the truth is, right? Because like looks fade. They always do. Eventually,
Of
it's
course.
inevitable.
But Botox helps that, just so you guys know.
Oh,
Just letting y'all
good.
know. That's why I look
Google that.
27. That's it.
But that said, right? It still fades
It
It
does.
eventually.
If the conversation goes, hello, my name is, and then later in the same conversation, I think I love you, then it's probably not real love.
Probably
And
not good. Probably
that conversation happened to me and I was scared off.
not great, Bob. Nope.
Yeah, exactly.
Bob.
Yeah.
Bob, huh?
Yeah. I had a girl draw me a picture of my name, but it was like bubble letters and with cow print. And
Oh.
at the bottom it said, I love you.
That's a lot of effort, Jake Jones, and you didn't appreciate it.
I appreciated
That's
it.
your
and I
daughter, Jake,
felt
and it's fine.
horrible.
That love is a different kind of love.
That is a
different kind of
father-daughter love, and that is
No.
fine.
Don't confuse it.
Listen, that girl is a jerk.
Oh.
All she ever does is take.
Your kid,
Still your daughter.
100%.
Still your daughter.
I give her food.
Oh, okay. Yeah, this is where it's
She
going.
doesn't even like the food I give her.
She doesn't even appreciate the gifts I give her.
What is this, Dad?
Like a bed,
This is macaroni and cheese again?
a roof.
I made
Oh
tacos.
my God. Poor
I made
Cheryl's getting
tacos
terrible
last night.
advice right now.
Made tacos last night,
Cheryl 4-7
7, 6,
something.
something.
Yeah.
and she was like, "Oh, I don't really want to eat those tacos." Tacos.
So she's
I was going to
adopted,
say who
right?
raised her, but
She's out of the house.
Okay, sorry, rabbit trail, really quick. My daughters, I feel like I'm doing a good job, right? They're
Okay.
6 and 4.
Yep.
You've kept them
And-
alive. That's a great job.
Yep.
That's-
congratulations.
That's technically
Yeah.
my only required job. No, that said, now when my 6-year-old is like, I hate this food, right? I've been like, come on. Mommy and daddy worked really hard to make this food for you.
Right.
If you don't like it, that's fine. But there's better ways to say it than spitting it out and saying, oh, I hate this. So now my 6-year-old
Really?
will say, I hate this food. But thank you so much for making this food for me. It happened
That's adorable.
last night.
That's cute.
Really?
What did
That's
you have
real
last
cute.
night?
Hot dogs with tortellini.
What?
That makes sense.
It's weird. I know.
It's fine.
God.
You have kids.
I don't
it doesn't
have
have
kids,
to make
so I don't-
sense.
I'm like, ooh.
A
It
little
doesn't
something for
terrible.
you, a little
It
something
doesn't
for
have
me.
to make sense. It doesn't have
This
to
all
make sense.
sounds
It's like
terrible.
whatever we can cobble together.
Oh, here's some tortellini. Here's some hot dogs. I think I have some
I'm
charcoal.
into that, to be honest.
I would love to eat.
It was delicious.
That
It was delicious.
I made
I'm a
delicious.
vegetarian, so
oh, yeah. Stay out of this
Whatever.
conversation then.
Okay.
yeah, no.
Jen, wait, you didn't answer the question.
No, I know I didn't. Well, I don't recall saying it to somebody before they said it to me.
You always wait?
Yeah.
I don't
Is that
do
a girl
that.
thing?
I don't do that.
Yes.
It is? You have to wait.
I
Respect.
wait.
Yeah.
Respect.
That makes sense.
The scenario I remember was my husband, when he was not my husband, we were dating. He said it to me within maybe 3 weeks. It was a bit weird. And I
Listen,
was like,
if he loved you, he loved you.
well, it worked out. We're married.
Yeah.
Oh, good. You said
We've
yes.
been married
Good.
for, yes.
1,000
I did.
years.
I did. We've been married since 2009. So whatever that, math
yeah.
is.
Math is hard.
That's a thing.
Yep.
10 years.
It is
2019.
He said it to me within 3 weeks and I was like,
An easy one.
Easiest math of theirs.
It is 2019.
There's that 10 to it.
and I remember he said it and I was like, okay.
Is that
You just-
Yeah.
What do you say? You go,
That's the thing.
And I
that
just-
was
thank
like,
you.
oh, you're so great.
I think I said something
and I like you.
You're so-
I think I said something like,
What was
wow,
your
that's
name
a little
again?
bit
No, I'm
early,
just
but that's fine. Sometimes you got to ask their names.
What was your name?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. What's your name?
Right. Yeah. Right.
So that was a little early for me, but I came around and it all worked out.
Aw.
So,
Good job. Well,
so
there you
the
go.
answer,
Good job, and also
the
good
answer
job
to
for
that,
Ryan
yeah.
for sticking it out.
The answer to that
and
follow up, has someone saying it too soon in your opinion caused you to break up with them? Nope, I married him.
Good job.
Well, there you go.
So
Do you remember the difference between Ryan asking you and you telling him, or him telling you that he loved you and you telling him? Do you remember that difference? Was it like months, days, years? Where were we?
I don't remember the difference.
Like, I've still never said I love you.
say-
I'm almost there.
Yeah, I'm
We've
getting
been married for 10 years.
So close. If you would just stop pushing that John Deere,
Once he figures out how to
it
drive,
would really take
I'm
me
in.
over the edge. I would
funny.
say maybe it was a difference of a couple weeks or a month. He grew on me really quickly.
You saw him doing the dishes one day, and you were like,
oh,
I love
he's
you.
such a good
Ryan's
man.
Sounds like a good guy.
wonderful.
He's
Anybody
such
who
a
will
good
push a
man.
riding mower for you, I think
Yeah.
just keep around.
Yeah,
He's
right?
so great. And he puts up with us in like a he's great.
I texted him a laundry list of things he had to tell the dance instructor tonight when he picks up.
Yeah.
my
Your
kid.
husband takes dance. That's great.
When he picks up my daughter from dance. His dance class is actually tomorrow night. So, yeah.
I had to buy feminine
He's
hygiene
a-
products today. That was great.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Do you know how many pictures I had to send to her of like these?
Or these, or these.
Or these. But these are on sale.
With wings or without? No, I'm kidding.
I walked through the store juggling them, literally throwing them up in the air. 'cause I'm
At
like,
that
I
point,
don't-
it's just fun.
I don't care.
Who cares?
Yeah.
But I
Because it
don't.
should be like that. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, it's
never
fine.
been
weird for
It's
me.
no big deal.
And it's never has for me.
I don't know that I've ever. I don't know that I've ever had Brian buy those for me. I
got
did
the-
make him go buy the pregnancy test though, because
I mean, I feel like that's fair.
I was like, I
You
don't.
were there.
Okay.
It's fine.
I'm sorry, I have one. Okay.
A pregnancy,
a pregnancy
test?
test?
Do you want to take it now?
Who wants to take it? That'd be so fun. Let's
Can I
do
look
it.
at the results? Let's all take them in the studio together.
All right, hang on. I'll be right back. Hang on. This is only going to take a second. Okay, no,
They
but
should include rubber glove with those. I feel like that could really mess you
I
really
feel that
quickly.
that's
100%.
oh, true story. I was on tour, and traditionally, the last show of any tour
Right.
is called Prank Day.
That's when all the bands prank the other bands.
Okay.
Kelly Clarkson's last tour show was a couple days ago, and they played volleyball on stage. Lester, my buddy, who's the drummer for Kelly Clarkson, went out front and stood in front of the stage and had his drum tech play the drums. So he stood in front of Kelly, just looking up at her like, yeah. So she looked down and saw her drummer in front of her.
Oh, nice.
In the crowd and freaked out. Which
I love that.
on Prank Day, I think that's great.
Yeah,
It's
okay,
a good
so-
prank.
Good idea.
Yeah.
Right? So this tour, it was 50 dates long, which is that's a long tour. It's
a big tour.
3 months. And we were the very, very, very first band. It was one of our first big tours. And so the headlining band, the last one, the biggest band on the tour, were really big, and they were helping us throughout the tour with different things. But they kept telling us as the day approached, get ready because it's coming. And they also told us, which I found out later is not true, but you don't prank up, right? So you don't break a bigger band than you.
There's a pranking
Yeah.
order. I got it.
There's a hierarchy of
Yeah.
pranking.
So if you're the smallest band on the tour, you're just screwed,
Yeah.
right? Because you're free
You
game
got it
from
coming.
everybody.
Yeah.
So that's what we were expecting, and so it comes. Not only is it the last day of tour, it's also April 1st.
Oh, that's great. Which we all just experienced.
Awesome.
Last week was April Fool's Day, and my daughter got me.
Double whammy, right?
Yeah.
So we just know we're going to get it. And so since we couldn't, we didn't know, but since we didn't want to break protocol and prank any bands, bigger than us, we thought we'd prank the audience. So we came out in like goofy suits and played a song really terribly and then smashed a guitar and said, it was dumb. But
You smashed a guitar.
yeah.
That sounds like fun.
We talked about that in our last episode.
Ooh, fun.
Yeah.
All that said, midway through our set, I look out in the audience and in front of me pops up this bright neon sign that says, "Congratulations, Dad."
Oh, tour life.
So in this, we keep playing. Our
Wow.
band was called We As Human.
Okay.
So a couple
What
seconds.
did you just point to?
There's a little sign over there on
We
the,
As
on
Human.
the amp.
What?
I looked
Okay.
over there too. I'm like, what are you pointing at?
So a few seconds later, another big neon sign pops up that says "New Human coming soon."
Wow.
Like they're going to replace you.
Yeah. And then another one, and then another one, and they all happen to be on my side of the stage. And I look at the people who are holding these signs up, and they're looking me dead in the eyes.
Oh, snap.
Wow.
So I'm like, okay, well, the best way to get back at a prankster is to just pretend like you don't notice. So that's what I do.
That makes sense.
I just pretend like I don't even notice their signs, although I'm totally rocked, and the rest of the set was just a friggin' nightmare.
They got to you.
Oh, dude, it was rocking my world. So we finish our set, And I walk off stage, and there were these two girls that were on the tour that were helping out with some other aspect of the tour that come up to me and say, "So, what do you think?" And I say, I don't know what you're talking about, because I don't want to give them the satisfaction of knowing that they successfully pranked me.
Right.
So they're like, "Oh, no. This isn't a prank. This is real."
Of course.
Right. April Fools.
Right. April Fools and prank day on tour.
Yeah.
And
Not falling for that.
and they're like, no. Like, we talked with your wife last night. She's pregnant. And she asked us if we could find a fun way to surprise you with this information. You're actually having a baby.
But it's with your wife.
April Fools.
Okay, I was going a whole different route in my head with
I
this.
know, same
Right.
at first. Like, wait.
Yeah.
No.
Because you're a good man.
He's a good husband.
Good man.
Not
You're
my
a good
game.
husband.
Not my game.
Absolutely.
But I am very confused at this point. So my bandmates they're giving me the clarity I need. They're like, "Come on, bro, for real. Not only is it April 1st, last day of tour, like, they're joking. Everybody's pranking you. This is clearly a prank. Come on, don't fall for this." And so I'm like, "Yeah, no, it's a prank. No, I don't believe you. No, we're really not joking." So then they FaceTime my wife and get in front of me, right? And she's like, "Surprise!" And
How did she get pregnant while you were on tour?
It's so weird. I was about to ask the same question. It's like you were somewhere else, but she was at home.
Wait, 50 days.
Well, where was it on this tour? How long was it?
No.
He gets weekends at home. He gets weekends at home, Jen.
No,
Jeez.
the way the tour worked is we did 4 shows on and then 3 days off.
There's no denying that those are his kids.
We believe that they were your
tour
children.
routes through
Yes.
Nashville. But all that said, I kept going back and forth because my wife's like, "I'm really not joking. This isn't a joke." And my bandmates were like, "It's clearly a joke. Don't fall for it, man. Don't fall." But she was like, "Check your phone," which my phone had died. So I plugged it into charge in our dressing room, which we were not in. So I go back to the dressing room. Sure enough, photograph of the pregnancy test. And I'm like, okay, this would be a terrible, terrible, terrible April Fool's joke.
Yeah.
Too far.
And my wife did
Yeah.
explain. She's like, "I get it. Like, terrible timing, but I just found out last night and I wanted to let you know before you got done. So maybe you could share this news with all your new friends on tour that you've made." And 9 months later, my Emma Bell, who's now 6 years old, was born.
That's awesome. That's a sweet story.
It is.
Oh,
Okay.
Let's go less
I
wholesome.
have no sweet
So-
stories.
I know.
I'm dead
I love-
inside.
you're like-
Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I do
Okay.
think that's so.
Let's move forward.
I
now.
think
So
that's so sweet.
cute. Moving
In my
on.
mind, I had this whole other story built up in my head. While it's super sweet, and I'm glad it ended up that way,
You'll
it
never
would have
get
been
the
like
dirt on
way
me.
juicier.
That's very Telemundo of you.
Yeah,
Telemundo.
extremely
Yeah.
Telemundo.
Telemundo.
I am Hinabeba from Telemundo. Okay.
Learning how to drink.
All right. Okay.
What's our next question,
Okay.
Jen?
Okay. At what point does having high standards become just being too picky?
Never.
Should
Never.
people
That's
actually
right.
ever, quote unquote, settle?
Ever.
No.
Never.
Never.
Absolutely never.
Don't do it.
And that's a
You have to-
resounding never.
Yeah,
from
you
the
have to
room.
remember, and it's we as human beings, it's part of the human condition. We don't see beyond what we can literally see, but you have to try to remind yourself that these decisions, especially if we're talking about relationships,
Yeah.
are forever. When you make that
Yes.
commitment, you're saying this is a commitment for the rest of the days that I will be alive on this earth.
Yeah.
And so settling it, no.
Maybe the timing's just not quite there. Wait a little longer.
Yep, definitely.
No, I mean-
well, I mean, you're always gonna, if you settle, you will eventually regret it. Maybe not now, but in a year from now,
Sure.
5 years from now, whatever, you're gonna.
You're not living the life that you are destined to live.
Now
Yeah.
I'll play devil's advocate.
Go.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
I
Dude.
do think that sometimes a readjustment of standards needs to be made. If you're holding another human to an literally unrealistic standard,
I can see what
Okay.
you're saying.
I
It depends
agree.
on if your
Yeah.
standards are like television standards, like the movies. Like
You do
sometimes
have to be
there are
realistic.
those-
This is
the Hallmark
obviously
standard.
assuming that they're being realistic. I mean, I don't understand. I'm assuming this is coming from a woman, honestly. So I don't know if I'm whatever. Anyway,
It is
but-
because I know who wrote it.
Okay. So I think women especially have a checklist of, okay, he's going to be this and that and that. And you can't, nobody's perfect. And I think that's one thing, expecting someone to be perfect. And obviously that's not realistic. You can't do that. You need,
So Mel, do you say like 8 out of 10 of those on the checklist? Like where's your percentage? Like, okay, if he meets 8 out of 10, we're good. Like where do you put that? Okay, well that's the question.
I don't know if it's 8 out of 10.
I think that's valid,
I don't know what her
though.
checklist looks like. I mean, if it's, it depends on how detailed this checklist is. Because I've literally known women, it's like, okay, no, he has to be 5'11". He has to have like
See, I
dark
think that's
brown hair.
ridiculous.
That kind of crap. Like, that's ridiculous. Does he treat you right? Does he treat your family right?
I understand,
Is he
like, wanting someone-
respectful?
But these are your standards,
Maybe
right?
taller than you or shorter than you is a thing that you want or don't want.
Sure.
But like 5'11", that's really specific.
That's really specific.
I love
It's
9
really
out of 10
specific.
things, but you're 5'10". Sorry.
Out. Yeah,
Out.
but I mean, yeah, I don't know.
I do know a man that broke up with one of the loves of his life because she liked root beer.
You said, wait, one of the loves of his life?
No.
Well,
Is that for real?
he had
That's
another
not a
love
real
of
story.
it. True story.
I know a girl
No,
who broke
it's
up
not.
with her boyfriend of like 2.5 years because he wore a red sweater.
Dated
No.
No, we didn't.
Yes.
No.
Another man.
Red sweater? That's what. No, it's not.
Another
True
man.
statement.
That's not real,
It's
Robert.
a true
Venable.
story. This is a true story.
Another
Go ahead.
man madly in love with a woman. They go on a date. She takes her contacts out for the date and wears her glasses, and they're big, like physically, like large glasses.
I understand.
I
I wear
haven't worn
glasses as well, so I
The
understand.
red
Broke up.
sweater since then, by the way.
Broke up with her immediately.
You're still stupid.
I think there's okay, you can have a checklist all you want, but as soon as you get to know somebody, they're gonna like break away from that checklist, right? Like because everybody like does weird.
Everybody's
like,
got their.
I think compromises are fine, but like changing, okay, I heard this the other day. Changing your personality can't happen. Like you
Right,
can't change
right.
yourself.
No.
Like making amendments and compromises to like situational compromises,
Yes.
I think is a thing that should
Yes.
happen.
Sure.
I'm like, okay, I don't like putting away the dishes. I just don't like doing that. But I will do that if I know that makes you
Yeah.
happy. And that is a positive feeling from your point coming
Right.
towards me. Like, oh, Robert put away
Right.
the dishes. I love you that much for that. Because I know you don't want to do it,
Yeah.
A. And B, the fact that you did it, that's cool. But I'm not, like, I still don't like doing it. I'm not changing that about myself. And I don't think that she's like, oh, I want someone who puts away the dishes. If she does.
Listen, if I would have stuck to my quote unquote checklist when I was introduced to my husband, I would never be married to him.
Same.
I would have never even met him.
Same.
Because,
all the Guns
I
N' Roses guys were already married.
well,
There's that.
There's that.
I will say this though. There's another thing. If it's a bigger thing, you're talking about settling. Like, okay, say you want kids and he doesn't. Definitely not.
That's a big
That's
life
a big
change.
issue.
That's a
Deal
difference.
breaker.
But there's a
different.
lot
Yeah.
of women that go into these relationships thinking, I'll change his mind. Girl, no, you won't.
Don't
get
try to change.
out. Get out.
You're trying to
Don't
make
do
something
that.
out of
Don't do
somebody
it.
else.
Don't
Yeah.
do it. Just don't do that.
I'm a father of 2 children who are both daughters. My hope and prayer is that they have very high standards and that they never settle.
Sure.
But yes, the truth is that there are realistic standards.
You're gonna quote unquote settle at some point, right? Because nobody is perfect.
Nobody's going to
I'll
meet
say-
every expectation.
I think there's a difference between settling and compromise.
Yes, there is.
Okay.
Huge difference.
That's a
Because
good way to put it.
compromise is crucial.
Yes.
But settling, to me, and this is literally just an opinion, settling is these are things that are not compromisable to me,
Yes.
but I'm going to
Core
settle
values. Core values is
I think that's
what you.
I
yeah.
think that's inaccurate. I think that's good. I think that's a good way to say it because, yes.
Don't
Because
settle
yes.
on your core
Yes.
values, but be open to compromising on the little things.
What about things you can't help?
Absolutely.
Like physical traits.
Well,
Oh, I think there's some
Okay,
stuff like I will never
hold
date
on,
a blonde.
hold on.
I would
No,
never
no.
date a man with blonde hair.
Botox girl and blonde
But you're
hair
married.
phobia.
You're not going to date anymore. Anyway,
well, there's
James making
that.
plans for the future.
I did break up with a
contingency
guy
plans.
because of his beard.
That's good.
But he could shave.
But he didn't want to, and I didn't want to change him either. Like that was part of who he was.
Did
he
you
was
tell
very,
him?
I don't.
What if he's
I
like,
don't
this was an
want-
experience. I had a beard
Okay.
up
This
until
guy was great. I'm
Mel.
going to go and tell you.
That tells me that there were other things about this man.
was
There has to
obviously.
be.
Okay,
It
I'm
couldn't
gonna- I'm
have been
gonna
just the
listen.
beard.
right. Agreed.
No, it really could be because, okay, seriously, he did, sorry, husband, but he did the most romantic thing in the world for me. I had posted on like freaking Facebook years ago that I wanted, instead of a bouquet of flowers, I wanted a bouquet of cupcakes.
I'm with you on that.
This man had a bouquet of cupcakes made for me.
The beard guy.
Yes. And like we had a picnic and it was super sweet and it was precious, but
Wait, you
the
broke
beard
up with
was
the
down
beard?
to here.
Did you eat the
That is-
cupcakes first, or did you
first
give
of
those
all,
back too?
Did it
That
was
is
a
so
date.
hot. So what?
And
You
I
know he can
agree.
shave.
God, I
Wait.
hope he never hears this.
Wait.
Oh, because I still know him. So like he's bald, but then with this beard down to
Oh,
here.
the bald thing is a no. Yeah.
Like it was.
I get it now.
was a-
I
was
get
like
it
a-
now.
You
It
know,
was
the,
totally get it
you know
now.
the real reason.
There was an imbalance, but he was one of the
Wait.
nicest people.
I could never
but
be
I
on
could
your
not
contingency
get
plan.
past this. This beard's down to here.
couple
Obviously, like
blondes that I
nobody can
like.
see this, but like my hand is down to like my belly button area. So, and I have a long torso. So he had this long
And
beard.
no issues about that
hair,
whatsoever.
No hair up here. Like it was just, but he was so sweet.
So things migrate. That
My
happens.
gosh, I'm happy
feel
that
like-
you're happily married.
Right.
And clearly this guy doesn't have a beard down to here.
But he's bald.
But he is bald.
But in hindsight,
But no beard down to here. That's the big thing.
You can't help the
hindsight,
balding though. The
it's-
beard you can help.
The beard
could've-
you can help.
you could have told him about the beard.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So
But that was such a big thing for him, and I knew that.
a matter of
that
weeks
was his
ago,
that was his decision to choose the beard over you.
Yeah.
I had a beard.
Did you say I'm
a
breaking
few
up
weeks
with you because
ago.
your beard?
No, I just like did the modern thing and like ghosted. Just,
You
where,
just-
where'd I go?
Bye.
My.
I know.
We are learning
I just,
so
like,
much about
slowly
you right now.
disappeared. I
You
know I'm a terrible
ghosted him.
person.
Wait, you said you're still friends with him though.
Yeah, I mean, like on the dating part, like it was
Okay.
like, oh, you want to go out? No,
So
I'm
eventually-
busy.
Sorry, I'm
You're
busy. I have a
unghosted.
macrame.
I'm busy for the next
thing.
like 100 years.
So what you're saying is after 100 years, maybe
You're not
Robert has a
busy.
chance.
Some of us
Yeah.
live that long.
Yeah. Robert.
Well, if you're still alive and I'm still alive, we'll talk. No, I'm just kidding. But
Wait,
no,
I just saw something on Reddit the other day. Like, as anybody who has made that agreement of, hey, if by the time we're 40, we
Oh,
get
yeah.
married, like, have they ever like cashed in on that?
Right.
And people have.
wow.
I'm like, really?
Really?
Like,
They've done that?
Like, I've changed a lot. I'm not 40 yet. I'm almost
Yeah.
there. But like the 19-year-old Robert and the 40-year-old Robert are nothing alike.
Wow.
We have totally different tastes in
So there's people who've
Food.
actually done that?
Yes, lots of them.
Wow.
Lots
I wanna
and
talk
lots
to
of
them.
You need to get on Reddit and check that out. That's very
Apparently.
interesting.
Wow.
Hundreds
Yeah, I wanna talk to
and
them.
hundreds of people.
We're on 2 questions, right?
Oh, let's
Yeah.
keep going.
Yeah, we've
Next.
done 2 questions.
Thank
Number
you.
3.
Next.
Okay. Let's see. Bum.
A good song.
How do you just say I wrote it myself?
Did you just
Thank
ad-lib that?
Lack of ambition in my significant other is a huge problem for me. How
Yes,
do I
girl.
address this?
You need to talk to him.
Yeah.
I don't want to hurt his feelings, but I feel like the other person could be doing so much more with his or her life.
You need to tell him exactly what you just told us.
Yep.
And that's the
That's a
truth.
big deal.
Yeah.
I've been told before that I wasn't pulling my weight. And like I think the word slob came out once, and that straight up hit me mentally to like change my life.
Okay.
I hit
okay.
the gym. I started doing more household chores. I changed everything, and not in a way that I didn't want to change. I saw it and I agreed. I'm like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
because if I don't have to do it and you're doing it, why would I do it? And so I changed that.
Yeah.
Well, so the word ambition did not hit me the same way as it hit you.
Me either.
Okay, go on.
I'm
Yeah, I
probably
went in a
thinking about the
different
same way you
direction
did.
too, but
So for me, I'm a very ambitious person. So this has never been a problem within my relationship. But that said, I think that everyone has something that they're passionate about.
yes.
This person, their significant other, clearly has something that they're not pursuing.
Yeah,
Yes.
I think I'm too ambitious in that fact then. Like way too many ideas, not enough me's.
I mean, there have been moments where it's like, hey, can I pay my rent maybe next month? Because I'm busy pursuing my ambitions rather than being a responsible adult. But that said, tricks or ways to get a person to pursue their ambitions, I think is just maybe letting them know that they're free to do so. It could be as simple as that. Sometimes people,
there are a lot of details we don't know.
I think of I think most people choose blue collar jobs because they're really good at them and feel like they have no other option.
Or that's what they want to do because their parents did it or their grandparents did it.
Sure.
But I think white collar jobs actually are just the same. All that said,
sure.
Sometimes people feel like they're truly pouring into their relationship by pursuing providing financial stability.
Right.
And don't know that they actually have the option or ability or even feel they can pursue.
They need to talk about that.
Right.
That's a conversation that needs to be had because I think that a lot of it in that conversation could be solved.
I think, I see what you're saying. So I said ambition about like not pulling your weight around the house, but like ambition as far as career choice or in life in general. I do see that. And I think that maybe you have to have that conversation where you're like, give me an hour or two a day to do this hobby / thing that turned it from a hobby into a career or a profitable endeavor.
Right.
And like, I will dedicate, keep our evenings. We'll still watch Good Girls on Netflix and we'll still. Yeah,
love that show.
What's that?
I'm 2 episodes in. It's
Are
really
you
good.
So
okay?
good.
I turned this guy on to Good Girls.
Yeah, it's really good.
I love that show. Are you caught up? Are you caught up?
I'm 2
As of
episodes
last
in right
night,
now.
I love that show so much.
No more.
No spoilers. No spoilers, but it's such a great show.
good.
Jen sits over here having no idea what
She's watched
Girls
5
is.
things on Netflix. That's all she's ever watched.
Jen.
5 things.
So here's what you do.
I've been
You-
watching The Dirt a lot on Netflix.
You go to Netflix
Okay.
and you watch season 1 of Good Girls, and then you go to Hulu, or I don't know if it's anywhere else, but and then you watch season 2,
It's so good.
where it's current.
Okay,
So
well,
Good Girls-
we'll take that off of the podcast because
Yeah.
I do want to know about this.
3
Yeah.
friends
What's
who
it
end
about?
up robbing a store in order to, for other reasons, get money, and then
Okay.
things happen.
So
And that's all you
bad.
need to know.
Okay,
They're
got
moms,
it.
and they're all
Dang it,
moms.
Everyone again.
Got it.
It's really good.
This is why.
It's really good.
So good.
So I think that's a conversation you need to have with your dude and tell first.
Or dudette.
First of all, no, she said him.
Said him or
Well, I
her.
said him or her.
Oh, okay. So I think
But-
that first of all,
Dude or dudette.
the permission needs to be granted.
It was probably asked by a woman. Let's
Sure.
be honest.
And second of all, like set aside an amount of time to work on it. Because if after first of all, amount of time per day and amount of time per week, amount of time in general. So like after 6 months, if this isn't happening, maybe that your timeline's expired. Like, hey, let's give this 6 months, an hour or two a day, put it towards that. Let's work towards something that you're good at or that you want to be good at. And if it doesn't happen by then, we'll move on.
Yeah, I mean, I think that comes into the settling thing too. Not everybody's going to have the level of ambition that you've got. So if that's something that's important to you, that's part of not settling. If that's important to you, and that person, and maybe that person just doesn't have, maybe their ambition is different from yours. Maybe their passion is just having a quiet life at home, and that's fine. That's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
But if it's
You
not
gotta
for
talk
you,
about that though. You got to figure it out.
yes, communication is key.
The important point here is to communicate about it.
I will say, this was something that came up in my relationship, lack of ambition, because it was like, okay, all you ever do is a lot, but none of it is for you. None of it is something that is your own personal passion.
Okay.
And this is a husband talking to a wife, so that's very difficult territory because you understand that both of you do a lot for your spouses, right?
Yeah.
And Jen being a mother, Robert being a father, myself being a father, we see the things that our wives do for our children, and it's exhausting, especially talking to Robert here, when your wife leaves for a day or 2 or 3 and you realize everything that they have to do. It's a lot. And I don't know.
Home.
I don't know if it's biological. I don't know if it's psychological, but the truth is women, and this is, I promise this is not sexist, women are just by default 99% of the time so much better at being mothers.
Didn't we talk about
We're
this
better
at some
at
point? Yeah.
being
multitaskers.
Organizers
Yeah.
and being multitaskers.
Women are better at being mothers than
Which
men
happens-
are at being mothers.
Which happens to be, right.
100% of the time.
Which happens,
100% of the
that is
time.
actually 100 scientifically proven.
proven.
That is accurate.
And this is science, really. It's
yeah.
not. I'm not.
But
like,
I would say
throwing
that-
this out there.
So let's replace the word mother, which I don't think you're being sexist at all. But say, let's just take that mother out of it. So nobody can even accuse you of being
okay,
sexist.
take the word mother out.
And we'll just say women, I guess this could still be
Primary
construed that way.
caretaker.
This is 2019.
Yeah, I know.
You're gonna get sued already. so it
Whatever.
doesn't
I
matter.
know. Just go ahead. I'm going to call
No.
my attorney. But we're better. I think we are better like organizers, multitaskers. And I don't know whether that's biological or I don't know what it is.
We're just the superior sex. It's okay to say that.
I don't think that that's
I'm not going to
True.
disagree.
Don't you dare.
I'm not going to disagree.
necessarily.
It's empty, but I'm going to throw it at you.
I don't think that's necessarily true, but I definitely think we know how to keep.
What? Don't throw.
And there it is.
Oh my
She really
God.
did it.
See, like I didn't feel anything, but it did hit my headphones
Bounced right off that hat.
and made a big cling like sound, which I hope you heard in the mic.
I'm like, you really okay? Don't threaten me with a good time, Jake Jones.
So if we're going to talk about scientific changes between a female and a male, the ability to throw and aim. Next question.
Next question. Well, we kind of talked about this. How can you tell if you're doing all the work in a relationship? We
If
covered
you
that.
have to ask, you already know the
Yeah,
answer.
if you're thinking
Yeah.
about
There
it,
you
you
go.
probably are doing too much.
I think this is a good one actually for our musicians.
Our musicians friends,
Yeah.
we are people,
We're people too.
Musicians are people too.
mostly.
Right. Mostly.
Few
For the most
exceptions.
part. Are long distance relationships worth it? How do you make it work?
Well, this is good.
I can speak to this hardcore.
We're talking about doing a podcast on this very thing.
Shut up. I want
It's-
in. Let me
it's-
in.
I never had one.
Okay,
I have nothing
so
to say
I've
about
had
it.
one and I've not had one. So
Okay.
I guess if you've had them, it's interesting because you don't see the light in often cases at the end of the tunnel. You don't see where, how does this resolve? Where's the end? Is this just fun? Is this a game? Is this like, hey, we are meeting each other's needs at
Right.
the time being? And then at the, is there an end of this? What one of us is going to have to compromise. I have to move. You have to move.
Right.
Or this is what it is.
Right.
And then for me personally, I have physical like needs that want to be met,
Right.
Yep.
which cannot be met long distance wise.
Sure.
And I have the desire to be touched and hugged and hold hands and kiss lips. And that can't happen as frequently long distance. Now, they say that distance makes the heart grow fonder and that, you know, if you're away from the person, you miss them a lot. And when the times you do spend together happen, you love them that much more. I'm not that guy.
Okay.
I'm the guy that needs that all the time. Whatever you want to call that.
Right.
Whatever that falls into, like, need wise, that's me. I like the affection. I love the physical touch. And though I am an emotional lover, I need to have that mental connection. I need that physical connection too. And if I'm not getting that, I can't do it. I just can't do it. So, original question. How was it worded?
Are long distance relationships worth it? And how do you make it work?
For me, I can't say it is. And I know that it has worked with some very close friends of mine.
Yeah.
They have made it work, and it is possible. And it depends on the situation. What if it's military? What if it's college? What if it's those things that can happen for a set amount of years, and then you know they're going to be back?
I think there has to, be, an end goal
game.
in mind. Yes.
Right.
No matter what. I mean,
The
my
light.
husband and I were long distance for the first several months of our marriage, not just our relationship, but our
rough.
marriage. And I mean, but there was an end goal in sight. We had a plan and you know, that kind of thing. So it worked out. But I think an indefinite thing, yeah, that's not great. Not great, Bob. You need to have a plan
Well, I think
in place.
I think that indefinite long distance relationships kind of excuse themselves from the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So assuming that this person is asking this question because there is an end game, absolutely you can make a long distance relationship work.
You can.
Now, again, if I go back to my own personal convictions on sexual matters, physical matters, if you're married to this person and it's a long distance relationship, I don't really think anything's off the table.
But
in
why
terms
would
of-
there be a long distance relationship? Like, okay, so some
I have a great example of
with your personal convictions in mind, and say it's that kind of relationship where you're married and why would you? Okay, it's hard for me to put myself in a situation, maybe because I need that physical touch. Why would I want to be away from my wife? Why would I take that job? Why would I join the military? Why would I?
Well,
whatever
sometimes it's not
is.
about that. I mean, in my case, it was like he had to finish out a contract. And so,
From
I mean, he
before
couldn't
marriage?
help, right. So he couldn't help that, I mean, that was just
Right.
part of it. So, I mean, we just did what we had to do.
And that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, sometimes it's not a matter
But
of,
I know
a
people
choice.
who are like, I just took a job in Florida. I can't afford for the family to come down right now. Why would you take the job in Florida? Stay with your family and figure out what's gonna
because
happen.
you're together with a person, but you're not like just completely negating the fact that you're a person.
I
you know,
understand, but
and-
maybe I don't know, I'm too much of a thinker. I'm like,
You are.
I am. And so I'm
You
like,
are.
I'm like, I don't want to be away from, like, that won't work for my marriage.
Well,
Like,
I mean, but I think you can still do. I do think you can still do both and have both.
Yeah.
But you both have to be committed to that.
good point. That's a great
and
point.
that's part of it.
If you both agree and you're communicating on this, I can see how that can work.
Let's
Yeah,
say,
if you're both fine with it.
Is it
Yeah.
worth it? Well, if
That's up to
being
you.
the first part of the question, yeah, exactly. That's up to you.
It is.
If we go back to our very first question, and compromise is
Right.
that one of those things?
Yes.
And
This could also go to the ambition part of it too, because if it's like, like Robert was saying, like if somebody's taking a job that, I can't bring you with me, whatever, I mean, if you support that person, you love that person, you do what you got to do to make it work. And
It's tough.
man, there's a lot of FaceTime calls in there. And there's a lot of lot of things happening. But you do what you got to do to get by, guys.
I spent several years of my marriage on tour.
And like, yeah, our podcast is
Long
all
distance.
about being on the road and tour life.
And that's exactly what it is. And I can't tell you how many men I watched fall to, and I'm doing air quotes here, tour life.
Sure.
As well as men that didn't. And at the end of the day, it is for some and it's not for others.
Absolutely.
I had a neighbor tell me once, he said, I don't believe that you can tour and be married and uphold any sort of moral structure
Sure, you can.
within being married.
And I can.
I watched a few men do it and I watched most men not.
Agreed with that statement.
And so that being said, is it worth it? I guess it depends on what the value is. What are you doing it for? Is that worth it?
Right.
What is the it? Is $1 million worth it? Is being able to pay off your student loans worth it? Is being able to pay your electric bill worth it?
Right.
Yeah, it all depends. But it is, I will say, from personal experience, it's very difficult. It's a difficult thing to uphold. It doesn't matter how good your relationship is or how good you think it is. It is not a simple matter.
It's not, but just because something's not easy doesn't mean it's not worth it.
Oh, marriage isn't easy.
Oh, agreed
but
with
is
that.
marriage worth it? Absolutely.
Absolutely. And I mean, I think that's, honestly, you could apply that to anything. I mean, is it worth it? I mean, it's
Sure.
a matter of the value, like Jake said, that you're placing in it. And
Depends on what the it
What's
is.
it?
Right.
what is it for you? And if you're doubting it, if you're questioning it, that tells me that there's something wrong.
It's probably not
There's
worth it.
probably something not right. Because if it's worth it, you just kind of know that it's worth it.
And I think it's
Yeah.
easier
And you're
if,
willing to do what you have to do to make it work.
if you agree on it. If you and your spouse agree on it, spouse being boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, mate of friends,
Right.
whatever it is. If you both agree on this and you have a plan, you're like, this is it. Let's see this and reevaluate after this amount of time.
Right.
I think it's definitely, I think it can happen. I think
Yeah.
it can work. For me, it's tough. I can't do it.
But I to wrap it all up, you've all expressed there is a definite physical aspect. I'm talking about sex. To
Really, Jake Jones?
to a
What's
healthy-
Really?
What's
I
that?
see now. That's a whole different thing.
Oh, Jen, we need to talk.
How does this work?
Did you send in the question about
I did.
to any
Sorry.
to any
I was
healthy
sitting here just berating this woman, and it was me.
Stop Googling sex right now.
But there is that aspect to any healthy relationship. And so if there has to be an end game in sight, because that is, I believe, absolutely necessary, because that's just the way us humans are built. That's something that we need. We need that physical touch, that love, that emotion. And without it, I think any long distance relationship will eventually fall apart, because you'll eventually find someone else who is there physically to meet those needs.
Yeah.
I don't know that I agree with that.
Eventually. Well, I'm speaking from a man's
how
perspective.
Eventually
of
are we
course.
talking about? Years? I mean, I guess if somebody goes years without
Well, I
seeing
could
somebody,
say indefinitely. If you met someone online that lives in Croatia, and they're like, "I'm never leaving Croatia,"
I would
and you
totally
say,
move to Croatia.
I'm never, and you say, "I'm never
Beautiful
leaving."
country.
I'm
Beautiful
never leaving the
country.
United
Beautiful place.
States.
I'm in.
But if you both,
Do
are,
you know anyone?
But no.
But what you're saying,
But if
though,
you're both
the bigger
unwilling
issue, that's
to
the bigger
leave.
issue. It's not about the physical part. That's the bigger issue right there, is that neither of you are willing to compromise and make the move. So that's the bigger issue to me
So would it be
than
worth
the physical
it
part.
At that point, my personal answer would be no, because
We don't want the same things.
Exactly.
That's the whole thing, right?
Right.
So
well, I think it's about all the time we have to
yes,
talk about
indeed,
these.
indeed.
Yep.
Well, we hope we've changed your lives.
That's made me think now. I've got a lot of things to think about.
I know. Well, I mean, I'm like thinking about it from your perspective of you say that you can't, you don't think you could do it.
I don't know if I
Let's just say, figuratively speaking, that you got this great job offer.
Sure.
It's going to take you away for 6 months.
Okay.
Do you take it?
So I've turned them down.
That's what I'm saying.
I've
Do you
had
take
those. I've had the dream job of playing drums in a band that I've been a huge fan of,
it? Okay.
and I've turned it down for the sake of family life.
wow.
I
Even
know,
if
but because-
that job would have affected your family life as far as like a monetary gain, it would provide you guys the opportunity to do other things.
And here's the thing. It depends on where you place your value in life. If it's on monetary things, or if it's on
Okay, hold on.
or
hold on, hold on, hold on.
relationships.
What if, figuratively speaking, that 6 months away would provide you 6 months with your family with not having to work?
Okay. And what if that 6 months away has provided you with 1 month away of not having to work, or a year?
Right? I think
Where's-
realistically,
where's that threshold?
This 6 months away gives you 6 months of not having to work. I think that's pretty.
No, it's that threshold of where you put that value. Is it if 6 months be on the road giving you a month off of work, or 6 months on the road giving you a year off of work, or 6 months off of work,
Sure.
or whatever it is, whatever that may be.
Yeah.
And what if money has nothing to do with your life? Like, what if you're like,
I don't
care
understand
if
that.
I'm eating
What do you? Can
rice
you
and
explain
beans.
that?
Right, yeah.
What if I eat rice and beans and rice every night? Because I don't care about food. I'm not a food person, but I am more of I want to see my kids every night and tuck them in. And I'm just playing devil's advocate. I'm making stuff up right now.
I get it.
I get it.
I mean,
What if
Because
it's like
you don't love tucking your kids into bed.
I want to tuck my kids in. I do
The
love
worst.
tuck my kids into bed every night and kiss my wife every night, and I don't care if I eat rice and beans every night. But what if it on the other opposite end of the spectrum? It's like I want to eat filet every day, and like I can tuck my kids in, a couple times a month.
I think that sounds awesome.
Okay,
I'm totally in.
but
Where do
I think there
sign?
are people. I think there are people on both ends of that spectrum.
There absolutely are.
And so that's what I think as a blanketed statement, it could be anywhere in between here and there.
Yeah, no, I
And
agree. Yeah.
For me, it's like I would rather tuck my kids in every night, because I've turned down a lot of money for a lot of things that I wanted to do.
Sure.
Because I place value in sitting on the couch watching a show with my kids every night and knowing that they'll see their parent that night. That's just where I am personally.
Right.
And but there are other factors like, yes, I do know my bills are being paid. And it's not, I don't wonder
Right.
if my lights are going to stay on.
Right.
But if to somebody who's like, I don't know if I can put food on the table, I need to take the 6 months off so I can keep food on the table, that's a different thing.
Right.
For myself, to top off what Robert said, I know what it's like to not be home for more than a day or two every month for years on end. And that is a hard life.
Yeah.
And so I would say, is it worth it? Well, I know for beyond a shadow of a doubt that at this moment I could be famous. I could be, air quotes here, somebody, I could be gone in exchange for those things.
Yes.
But I choose not to because to me, it's not worth it. I get to see my kids every single day.
What does your wife think of that? Is she like, would you please go be somebody? And I say that in air quotes, right? Like, I'm not, of course you're somebody. But you know what I mean? Is she like, oh, you should
Why didn't you go do that?
Why didn't you go do that?
Chase those ambitions.
I'm telling you, like, this wife right here would be like, go.
Get out of here.
Do it.
Well, so when I first joined the band that I was in, when we were doing all of that, it kind of came with a little bit of this idea because we had it in our minds that we would make enough money to have a couple of tour buses and be able to bring our families out and have children and homeschool and all of us be gone at the same time. We didn't realize that the music industry is not quite like that anymore.
Right.
And in my defense, it kind of was like that when we first signed our deal, and then it changed very quickly. But all that said, no, she very much is like, I'm so glad that you're home.
So that works. It's good. You guys are on the same page.
And my level of ambition is at sometimes a little too high. And so that's not a problem that we have either. And it's we have a band, as we said, we talked about it in the intro. And that's, we made a decision, the three of us that are in the band, at the very beginning, touring is not in our cards because it's not something that we want to do. We know what that's like. It sucks.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much money you make. We know we did one tour because we were home a lot and we made a lot of money and had absolutely zero expenses. And it was...
That was a fruitful experience for us.
It had
Sign me up.
Had an end game.
Yeah.
You can play the
Do we
hamster
take
harmonica.
this podcast on the road?
Hey,
we tour?
Whoa!
Oh my
Speaking of
God,
that,
be
we
so
are
great.
doing live podcasts. Both of us.
We
Both of
are.
us,
Both of us, yeah.
At PodX in Nashville, coming up the weekend of June 1st. So May 30...
First.
Yeah.
First and
31st.
Yeah.
Are you guys also on June 1st?
We are,
The
yes.
2nd.
Yeah,
June
we're on
2nd.
June 2nd. 3:20 p.m., the last show of the day.
And that's going to be your
close
BFF?
out the show.
We're
Close out
closing
show.
the whole thing out. So in other words, no one will be there.
No. I think you're wrong. And we're going to be...
I think you're wrong.
We're June 1st, Saturday morning at 10 a.m.
I don't even know what it's like before 11 a.m.
Yeah, so we're going to be
Is the
zombies.
sun even
It's
up
gonna
at 10
be fun.
a.m.?
I don't know.
I think it comes up
I'm
around there.
serious. I get up at like 6.
But
I don't go to bed till like 3 in the morning most nights. So yeah.
if you want to
When the
hang
sun starts peaking, that's when I'm like, it's time for bed.
if you want to hang out
Really?
with us in the Turned Up podcast, we're going to be around that whole weekend at PodX. And I know that your BFF podcast girls are going to be around as well. And we'll probably be together hanging out and holding
Let's say
hands
if
and
you-
skipping.
If you want to see,
Are
if
you
you want
gonna
to
be
find
there on
us,
Sunday
find
for real
your
though?
BFF.
I think I'm going to be there all weekend.
We're not.
There's
but-
a lot of people that I want to meet and a lot of podcasts I'm a fan of that I know that people will be there for.
Awesome.
Yeah, Undisclosed is going to be
We're
there.
cheap. That's why we're not going to be there.
Robbie Ashadri is going to be there from Undisclosed. Aaron Mankey from Lore is
The
going to be
Crime
there.
Yeah,
Junkies
I
girls
saw
are going to be
that.
there.
I've been listening to a ton of
So-
Crime Junkies lately.
We're going to be there. And if you want to hang out with us, you should go to PodX and check out their passes. And they have, we all have a discount code.
We do.
I know ours is Turned Up and
BFF is ours.
BFF. That's easy. 3
So
letters.
it's podx.com.
So in other words, use BFF, okay?
or Turned Up. If you're our,
BFF. It's 3 letters. It's 3 letters,
it's
guys.
not like we get a commission off of this.
Contribute to our lives.
It's
We're poor.
totally fine. And but you can come hang out with us and you can ask us
Come
questions.
on Sunday.
We're both doing live podcasts.
We are, and we're actually doing another version of our How
Of
to Live
this.
Your Life. Yeah, basically what we did, but
That's awesome.
with more questions, guys. Sorry, we went
This
off on
is just
some
an appetizer.
Major tangent. Yeah,
This is an appetizer. Yeah.
let you know what you got coming to
This
you.
is just a little portion of what you can get.
just,
How do you live your life?
Well, obviously,
Listen.
awesomely.
Okay.
I feel like I haven't really been doing it well enough.
I feel like
You'll get
that's
better.
exactly me right there. I'm not doing a good job at all.
Then does anybody? Because
I don't
Well, if I
know.
want to know,
People are
I'll-
doing better than me. That's all I can tell
I'll
you.
show up.
I can,
or their Instagram photos show that they are.
Yes.
We don't know what they're really doing.
Yeah, we
As
don't
they
know
sit
what
on
that.
their couch and not in Cabo.
I feel like a whole failure, honestly, this week.
oh,
Okay.
man. That's
So
a
if
whole
you-
other podcast.
If you want a discount to show up to PodX, if you're in the Nashville area, I mean, that
BFF.
could literally be anywhere.
BFF. No, not turned
South
up,
Carolina,
not turned up.
definitely
No,
not
South
BFF.
Carolina,
Help
Kentucky,
your girls out.
Missouri,
Girl power.
Arkansas,
Even if you're in
Alabama.
California,
Mississippi,
wherever you are. Are we name all the states?
Georgia,
Hawaii.
Just
no,
BFF.
the ones just surrounding.
That's all
me.
you need to know.
Mississippi?
Podx.com
Kentucky,
and
yeah.
purchase your tickets. Use discount code BFF and you
It
get
doesn't-
10% off
It doesn't
of your
matter.
purchase price.
Sure.
Let me
Fine,
let me
do
tell
that.
you.
Are they tracking it? Like if so many people
No.
use
Yes.
BFF?
No, they're not.
let me
That's
tell
false. You did not get the same email I got.
you. Let me tell you the
That's
actual.
fine. No, that's right, Robert Venable. They're definitely not tracking that. So
Definitely. So use Turned Up.
use code BFF.
Oh, Mel, I had something I wanted to tell you.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, listen to Jake real quick.
If you wanted the actual URL,
It is.
podx.com/turned up.
Bye.
All one word. So make sure you actually type that into your browser. Because if you type in your BFF into your browser, nothing happens.
Or just BFF.
You guys are
The
trash.
wheel just spins.
It'll say that you're
We're
going to
throwing
an
this episode
unsecure
away.
area of the internet,
Goodbye.
and they're stealing your
This
identity.
whole thing is trash.
We're not going to have a podcast this week because of our slander against each other.
right. We are no
It
longer
started
friends.
off as a spa weekend and then
A spodcast.
a spodcast.
I'm just sitting here, got a
Coined
piece
the
so
Robert
bad.
Venable. Don't let
use.
anyone
I
else
love that one.
let you know.
Podcast.
Man.
That's because of my excellent couch that these two lovely
Here's the
ladies are
reveal.
sitting on.
Here's the
What's
reveal.
the reveal?
So
This whole
Oh,
time.
gosh.
So
The whole
in,
time we've been sitting on what couch?
in
Black light.
2016, I had an intern that stayed in my studio. It was not the studio that you guys are sitting in right now, but a different one. And I will tell you, just for your own safety, he was 19 years old. No, but he did put sheets over the couch. It
Well,
turned
praise
into a
the Lord.
bed. It was a nice
Honestly.
twin size sheets. And that's where he slept. That was his bed.
Oh, okay.
And I will say, and you guys can attest to this, is an incredibly comfortable couch.
It's a very comfortable couch. I mean, I was like all the way up here, legs up, everything. Yeah, the whole thing.
You were.
And
I
it's a-
needed palm fronds or something. Or
It's
grapes.
a very large couch. It could
It's
be in a
very comfortable.
cartoon and could be named as the Big Comfy Couch.
What's a palm fronds?
I don't
A
even
palm
know.
frond? Like
like the Romans, would
Like-
fan you while you
yeah.
Like that.
Like the leaves of a
a palm
palm.
frond.
So 2017, I moved into the studio that you're sitting in right now. And that couch right there, I just for moving purposes, much easier to take the cushions off than to leave them on, right? So I had this intern that had been staying there, and I'm not going to blame it on the intern because it might not have been him, but that couch used to sit in the lounge area
But,
of my previous
yeah.
studio, and which is also where he slept. And so we removed the cushions of the couch to move it.
What was in the cushions,
Here's
Jake?
the big reveal. What was in the cushion, Jake?
A bright purple bra. It had. It even had the new.
Mel's got
it even
her
had the tag from Walmart. It's from Walmart, right?
From Walmart.
And so
but the best.
What
It
we
had
haven't.
it had like the tag on it.
Oh yeah.
Like-
so what we haven't been able to figure out yet is I had some female clients in the studio. Was it their bra? And maybe they bought it and forgot.
They bought it and they bought it with the
There
tag
was
on.
a band of females in the studio at the time.
But most likely, the most likely scenario is that he had purchased this bra for some sort of bizarre reason that I will not even
We can't even
try to
figure
figure out.
No.
And accidentally left it in my couch.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Are you judging him for wearing a bra, Jake Jones?
Good for him.
It still
No,
had the tag on it,
thing.
which tells me he never wore it. He used it for other
Or
reasons.
he's like
he's
Mini
gonna return
Pearl.
it. Mini Pearl.
She
What-
had a tag on her hat.
Oh.
Or it could be the tag on the bra, so it doesn't matter.
You just gonna wear it to like a nice event and then take it back? Yeah. That Walmart bra?
Have you never done that before, Jake?
Nope.
I've never worn a bra and then
So close to
taken it
wearing
back.
I had one on and I'm like, no, I gotta take the tag off.
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't do
Yeah,
this.
no, that's
The
kind of
Grammys are too nice to wear a tagged
Robert, I
Walmart
feel
bra.
like I'm learning so much about you right now.
I've
knew
never
that
worn a
was
bra.
coming.
That's a true statement.
Thank you guys so much for being on this podcast.
Yeah. Hey, it's good having you in the studio.
Thank you back.
This is really fun, guys, for real.
All right, so this podcast would not be possible, not even in the least, without
Barely.
our amazing support from our patrons. If you want to become a patron, go to turneduppodcast.com, look in the top right corner, click Become a Patron, and then you can select whatever kind of awesome stuff that you want. Anything from a sticker all the way up to getting to record your own voice on an episode of Turned Up, as well as getting to sit in and listen to us and be ridiculous with us.
Quick shout out to a handful of homies shooting from the hip here. Laura Annalise 7, Natalie B, Jen Walter 1, MD Biaco, and I'm not going to name any more. There's I can just keep scrolling. But that's all I have time for right now. Thanks for being a huge supporter of the Turned Up podcast. And we want to thank our guests, Jen and Mel from Your BFF podcast. You can find them all over the socials. You can find them on anywhere you listen to or consume. I love saying that. Consume podcasts like Spotify.
Oh my God!
You get a kitten and you get a kitten. Thank you for being our guests. You guys get kittens. Oh, yeah.
You guys, there's actually real kittens.
We are like Oprah up in here. That's how we do it at Turned Up.
Okay, I take everything bad I said back. I love Columbia. This is great.
No, thank you for being on the show. We appreciate you guys. And you can find them. Your BFF podcast is the name of the thing.
Yes.
They don't always have kittens in their hands, so they won't sound like
But we always should.
Oh my God.
Little angels.
I'm going to take it home with me.
Oh my
Done.
God. I'm such a cat lover.
Oh,
It's
it's so sweet.
These are actually full grown. They are miniature Colombian kittens. No.
Well, it makes sense.
Teapot
We're in
kittens.
South America.
Teapot cats.
These are teapot cats. They're only here in South America.
You came out of the bathroom. Where are we going?
They were in the commode. That's where they keep them.
That's where they like to stay in the...
Oh my God, did we lose one? My gentleman.
I am such a cat.
You
I'm a
can
crazy
find
cat lady.
Our
Oh my
podcast
God.
at turneduppodcast.com. Anywhere you're listening to podcasts, you already know where to find us. Leave us a 5-star review. Slam that subscribe button. You know how to go.
God.
Huge thank you to Real Sound.
Hey, thanks, Real Sound.
Who brought this podcast
And
to
we have
you.
some secrets about Real Sound, but we can't share them.
I'm so
all kinds of fun
mad
things.
at you guys because now we have to leave.
And you can hear kittens
gave
in the
us a
background.
cat first. You gave me a kitten.
And we love you
It's
so
Elise.
much for listening. Thank you to
And
your
we
BFF.
love just little kittens.
Thank you guys.
Our BFF.
Sweet angels
Thank
sent
you.
from heaven.
Why
Oh
did
my
our voices
goodness.
change all of a sudden? When we talk about kittens, we start to talk
Listen,
like this.
I am dead inside until you give me a puppy or a kitten, and it's a completely different ballgame. Don't
You
judge me.
are a cat lady.
I'm a cat freak. Hey, thank you guys so much.
Thank you so
I'm
much.
going to
This was
speak
really
since
fun.
she can't.
Seriously, this was really fun.
Thank you so much, Turned Up Podcast guys.
Oh,
Jake
man.
and Robert, you
We're
guys have
gonna
been
do this
amazing,
again.
and this is so fun.
Thank you, Jake Georgia, Robert Venable.
I have
oh my
a-
goodness, yes.
I have a feeling our paths will cross again soon.
I would say so.
Absolutely.
Buttocks, that's right, for sure.
Until next time.
This is Nashville signing out.
Peace.
Bye.